everyone. Today is all about sitting and how we can help our babies do one of the more difficult components of development, which is get in and out of sitting, and just some simple exercises that you can do to help your baby. So first of all, kind of a normal progression of sitting is once your baby is sitting up on their own, the first component of a transition that they are going to do is going from sitting to their belly. Now this oftentimes is going to look like a little bit of a Superman dive as they're reaching and going for a toy, but they don't yet have the coordination and the practice and the strength to do it in a controlled manner. The second transition, which is the much harder of the transitions, is going from a tummy time position up onto your baby's hands and knees and into sitting. That transition is going to happen a few months after your baby can sit up independently, and is usually comes in combination with more advanced floor mobility, so hands and knees crawling, or pretty proficient at belly crawling or commando crawling. So let's talk a little bit about how you can help your baby learn some of these more advanced in and out of sitting transitions. And my number one favorite way to help babies is actually by having them sit between your legs. What this does is this provides a really nice protection for them so they feel nice and safe and secure, because they know that they're not going to face plant if you've got your legs right here. So sitting up, working with your baby, this is also bonus, a great way to just practice basic sitting for those of you who don't have babies who are sitting up on their own yet. It allows you to be behind your baby, provide some really excellent support while your baby plays with the toy here at the middle. I usually recommend for mamas who are working on just sitting balance to have your hands on your baby's thighs, not up here around their trunk. By giving them some support down here at their thighs, it allows their trunk to move and correct, getting stronger, working on their balance reactions, preventing them from face planting, but still making them do most of the work. Okay, so once your baby's doing pretty good at sitting, I like to do simply just placing the toy in the right location. So much about movement and development is not so much about where you put your hands, but where you put the toy. So you're gonna find some toys that are really motivating for your child. Little toys like this that they can easily reach and grab can be great, but if you really want your baby to hang out for a little while over your leg and work on some of those hands and knees, you're gonna want a bigger toy, something that's not going to be as easy for them to just pick up and bring back with them. So let's go through the process. You're going to put your toy on the outside of your leg. The goal is for your baby to reach across the middle to get towards the toy. They might start out with it over here, just one hand, but if you're noticing that the opposite hand isn't getting engaged, you're going to want to bring some attention to this hand over here. Either bring another toy over to get them reaching, or just simply bringing their hand over so that they can easily engage with the toy is going to be a really great option. What you're going to notice once your baby's hand is over here and they're leaning into you, this opposite leg is probably going to pop up, and if it doesn't, go ahead and bring it up. If this leg stays straight on the ground, it's going to make the hips glue to the floor, and we don't move with our bodies stuck in one position. We need to get ourselves into an active side sitting position. So encourage your baby's foot to pop up here, and you can even hold it and give them a little bit of support. They're going to rotate over. You can even help them maybe come onto their hands and knees here over your leg to play with the toy. Your leg is giving them some really nice support at their trunk. This bottom foot over here, see how it's stuck? Really, really common. Go ahead, take your hand and fix your baby's legs. Absolutely fine. You can tuck your baby's knees underneath their hips. If their knees are kind of frogging out and splaying a little bit, this can be a really nice way for you to support your baby at their hip. Because remember, your leg is doing a lot of work up front. Their hands should be down at the support toy, either on the toy or on the floor, and they're playing away. Now, from here, your baby is going to get frustrated. Either pretty quickly or after a minute or so. This is really hard. So this is where transitioning them back into sitting is really, really helpful for them to start to learn the process. Your hands are going to go one of two places. One hand is going to go on their booty, on their hips. The other hand is going to go underneath their trunk, their armpit, on the side closest to you. You're going to bring the hip down to the floor, booty down, while the opposite hand lifts up at the trunk and gives them a little bit of support. So it's going to go booty down, and this hand is going to lift at their trunk. It's all going to go in one motion, booty down and lift. Now, the other piece to this that's really, really important is you want your baby moving back in that direction. So again, toy placement is really important. Before you go for the move, you're going to take the toy that they want, get their attention, bring it back towards the center, because now they want to go this direction. They're looking over here. They want that toy. Booty down, push through their armpits, and bring them up into sitting. And we're back. So that is, in a nutshell, one easy way that you can practice getting in and out of sitting over your leg. Bonus points, you also get to practice the hands and knees position. Now, from their tummies, this is going to be a lot more advanced and a lot harder, but the same idea is going to apply. If your baby if you're noticing your baby is already getting up on their hands and knees, or they're on their hands and knees and they're crawling, it's going to be the same idea. They're here on their hands and knees. You're just going to bring their booty down to the floor as they push up into sitting. But remember, toy placement is everything. So they're here on their hands and knees. The toy is going to come back down at an angle. They're gonna follow it come back as it comes back. And as they're looking and probably even reaching, you're gonna take their bottom down to the floor. And here I like to actually wait a little bit, because they're going to be pushing through this hand. Ideally, they're going to learn to push up on their own into sitting. But if they need a little bit of help and they're starting to struggle trying to get to that toy, take your hand underneath their armpit, pushing down at their hip, and bring them up into sitting. Okay, that is sitting in a nutshell and some transitions in and out of sitting. And go ahead and post your questions below. Sitting and transitions are some of the hardest things our babies are going to learn how to do, and so I find that mamas oftentimes have a lot of things to say. So don't hesitate to ask. This stuff can be really hard. Give yourself grace and patience, and we'll see you next time.